Good afternoon, students, and welcome back to our new voices. Children, in our previous period, we have started our chapter number 4, 1 less than a 100. Part 1 we covered in the previous period. Today we are going to see part 2. By this time, you all must have read the entire lesson, or you must have downloaded the book, and through that book you must have seen the picture of Nasruddin Hodja. That's why even I put his picture here on the slide. Have you enjoyed reading the entire lesson? Isn't it interesting? Yes. Come on, let us revise, children, what we learnt in our part 1. The story is amusing yet thought provoking one, and it is about an honest man named Nasruddin Hodja who prays to God every day for how many coins? 100 gold coins. While asking the same, he tells God that he wants exactly 100 gold coins, and even one less than 100 will not be enough. Hence, he will not accept it. So, what happens? Who is there on the terrace? See in the picture. There are two people in the picture, right? Yes, he is his rich merchant neighbor, Nazim. See, he is hiding himself near the chimney, and Nasruddin Hodja is down in his courtyard holding a bag of gold coins. Okay, so one day Nasruddin's neighbor, this Nazim, who is rich merchant, tries to put his honesty to test. How? To test it, what he did? He threw a bag full of 99 coins in his courtyard. So, when Nasruddin sees that a bag of 99 coins, he counts the coins and keeps them with him. So, what happens next? That we are going to cover in today's lesson, part 2 of 1 less than a 100. Let's move ahead. What are you talking about? Are you joking? You have never given any money to me, was the Hodja's answer. Come, learned sir. Though I may not be as learned as you are, I am not a complete idiot. Hearing your plea to God for the 100 gold coins, I threw down that bag of coins at your feet. They are mine and no man can take them away from me. He shrugged his shoulders and said, I can't understand, Nazim. How can you be so sure that you gave them to me? The merchant kept repeating that it was he who had thrown the bag of gold coins, but the Hodja did not listen to him. He said the money was his and had come to him as an answer to his prayers. Nazim was almost in tears. He said, I shall take you to court for robbing me of my money. Stroking his beard in a thoughtful manner, the Hodja said, I am almost willing to go to court with you. The merchant wanted to go at once, but the Hodja said, I am not as young as I once was and cannot walk all that way. Eager to get his hands on his money as soon as possible, Nazim went into his house and brought a sturdy donkey. Here you can ride this donkey. I will find myself another one. But let's leave at once, he said. A little satisfied, but not completely, the Horja found another excuse. How can I appear before the judge so shabbily dressed? It would be very disrespectful. Nazim was set on taking the Horja to court. So he went back home and brought a new silken dress and a fur coat for the Horja to wear. The Horja examined the clothes and was satisfied with them. So, till here we are going to cover today. Children, what do you think? The Horja is why the Horja is making these excuses, isn't it? First he said that I cannot walk. Afterwards he gave the excuse that I cannot come in the court in this shabby clothes. So these are all excuses he is making. What do you think? Why he is making so many excuses? Think you have to answer me. Come on, let us. I'll explain you the lesson paragraph wise. At the same time, you please note down the new words, and wherever you find the past tense and the opposite word, that also we will note down. What are you talking about? Are you joking? So when Nazim said that the gold coins, that bag is of mine, I threw it to test whether you will keep it or not, because you were saying in the prayer that, oh God, if you give me one less than 100 coin, I will not accept it. And now you have accepted. So I came here to take my gold coins back. So Horja said, what are you talking about? Are you joking? You have never given me any money to me, was the Horja's answer. Now Horja was stick to his sentence that I have never seen you, I have never asked you to give me money. Why will you give me money? So I was talking to the God and my God has blessed me with this bag. So you are nowhere. Why should I return this back to you? Now Nazim said, come, learned sir, though I may not be as learned as you are, I am not a complete idiot. The word here, meaning of learned is wise or educated. So Nazim said, come on, learned sir, though I may not be as learned as you are, though I am not as wise as you are, but I am not a complete idiot. Hearing your plea to God for the 100 gold coins. Hearing your plea to the God. Plea means a request made in an urgent or emotional manner. So he was requesting in such a way daily for so many days. So seeing that, I threw that bag of gold coins at your feet, Nazim said. They are mine, and no man can take them away from me. I am sure, I am telling you no, that I was hearing your prayer, and to test you, I threw that bag. Who else can throw that bag? So that coins are mine, and no man can take them away from me. He shrugged his shoulders and said, I can't understand, Nazim. How can you be so sure that you gave them to me? See how clever Nasruddin is. So lightly, so carelessly, he is answering him that I can't understand, Nazim. How can you be so sure that you gave them to me? Miss, how can you tell me? How can you say so that this bag of gold coin is yours? How can you say that these are your coins and you gave it to me? The merchant kept repeating that it was he who had thrown the bag of coins, but the Horja did not listen to him. Miss Nasruddin Horja was very reluctant and decided to keep that bag with him. But Nazim was also not giving up. Why will he give up? He was telling him again and again to and trying to prove that it was he who threw the bag just to test. It was by mistake he has done, and for that he has apologized also for testing his honesty. But Nasruddin was not at all ready to accept that the coins bag is his. So he said the money was, Nazim said the money was his and had come to him as an answer to his prayers. Now Nazim was almost in tears. Now he was helpless. Now he was not understanding now what to say to Nasruddin. How can I prove that it was he who threw that bag? These gold coins are his. Now how to prove? So he was almost in tears. He was very sad, helpless. He said, I shall take you to court for robbing me of my money. But he didn't give up his efforts to get his money back. He said, now he threatened Nasruddin that I shall take you to court. I will take you to the court. For what? For robbing me of my money. Still, Nasruddin Horja was very quiet, very calm, stroking his beard in a thoughtful manner. Yes, he was thinking something. He was thinking about a plan. And by stroking in a thoughtful manner, the Horja said, I am almost willing to go to court with you. Now, Nazim threatened him that I am planning to take you to the court to get my money back. I will prove it there. The merchant wanted to go at once. So that time only merchant wanted to take Horja to the court. But the Horja said, I am not as young as I once was and cannot walk all that way. Now he started thinking and he came up with the idea to give excuses, because this shows that he is not ready to return money to Nazim. So he gave excuse. What excuse? That I am not as young as I once was and cannot walk all that way. Means I cannot walk all the way to the court. I'm old now. I cannot walk. Now eager to get his hands on his money as soon as possible, Nazim went into his house. But Nazim, he didn't want to leave any chance. So that time only, as soon as possible, he went inside and brought a sturdy donkey. Sturdy, strong enough. He brought a sturdy donkey. Here you can ride this donkey. I will find myself another one. So Nazim told Nasruddin that this donkey is very strong. It's a sturdy donkey. He can take you to the court safely. So you just ride on this donkey. I will manage myself. I'll come on another donkey. But let's leave at once, he said. A little satisfied, but not completely. Now, what excuse Nasruddin gave that I cannot walk? So that problem also Nazim solved by bringing the sturdy donkey for him. Now he started again thinking what another excuse I can give. So little satisfied but not completely, the Horja found another excuse. See how smart he is. What another excuse he gave? How can I appear before the judge so shabbily dressed? My dress is not good enough to go in the court. They are very shabby, they are very old and torn. So I cannot come to the court this way in shabbily dress. Why? Because it would be very disrespectful. So this is the another excuse he gave. Nazim was set on taking the Horja to court. Nazim had decided that I have to take and I will take him to the court, and today only, so that I can get my bag of 99 gold coins back. So he went back home and brought a new silken dress and a fur coat for the Hodja to wear. Poor Nazim. He is trying all his ways. Whatever problem Nasruddin Hodja is putting in front of him, Nazim is solving on his way and trying to satisfy him and take him to the court. So now for second time he went inside and brought the nice silken dress and a fur coat for the Hodja, so that again he cannot make any excuse of any dress. So he bought nice silken dress and the fur coat. The Hodja examined the clothes and was satisfied with them. He was satisfied with them. It means Nazim assumed that now he will wear them. Then he will sit on the donkey and we can go to the court to resolve the matter. So today we will see this much lesson. That in the third part I will complete the lesson. Enjoy, children. See how witty Nasruddin Hodja is. And poor Nazim, he just tried to help him and test him, and he got himself in trouble. So let us move ahead and see some activities. As usual, first we will do the frame sentences. Let us see which word is there to frame in sentence. Shrugged. Shrugged. S-H-R-U-G-G-E-D. Shrugged means raised one's shoulders slightly like this. I shrugged my shoulders. How? Now let us see the sentence. How we use that word in this sentence. She shrugged and then walked away. She shrugged and then walked away. Second word, stroke. Tina put her hand on her hair and stroked it. To put fingers in. So sometimes you stroke on your pet back also, right? That is also stroking. So here stroke. Tina put her hand on her hair and stroked it. Isn't it? We have seen that Nasruddin stroked his beard in thoughtful manner. Now let us see the opposite words. Opposite of throw, catch. Opposite of shore, unsure. S-U-R-E shore, U-N-S-U-R-E unsure. Now past tense words. Give past tense. Keep, kept. K-E-E-P, keep. Past tense of keep is kept. Satisfy, satisfied. S-A-T-I-S-F-Y, satisfy. S-A-T-I-S-F-I-E-D, satisfied. Let us see few question and answers. Now children, you have to answer this question. You understood the lesson I taught you today. So based on that, some questions I will ask you. You try to answer it. Afterwards, I'll show you the answer. Then you check whether your answer was right or not. The question is, what did the neighbor do when he saw the Hodja keep the coins? What did the neighbor do when he saw the Hodja keep the coins? When Nazim saw, Nazim was under impression that Nasruddin will not keep the coins because they are not all 100. And he was telling in his prayers to the God that if you, oh God, if you give me one less than 100, then also I will not accept that 99 coins. So what did the neighbor do when he saw the Hodja keep the coins? Yes, right. When the Hodja had kept the coins, Nazim went to him and quietly asked for his bag of coins. He also apologized for trying to test the Horja. He asked for the bag of coins and also apologized that, oh, I'm so sorry, I tested you. Okay, so he also apologized for trying to test the Horja. Let's move to next question. Why do you think the Horja was making these excuses? We have seen that Horja was making excuses, no? He was not ready to return the bag of 99 gold coins to Nazim. He was not ready. So, for that, what excuses he was making when Nazim told him that I will take you to the court? He was not ready at once. He gave some excuses. So, why do you think the Horja was making these excuses? Exactly. He was not. The Horja was making these excuses because he didn't want to return the gold coins to Nazim. He was not ready. He didn't want to return that gold coins to Nazim. So he was making excuses. His first excuse was that I cannot walk all the way to the court, isn't it? And the another second excuse was, he is shabbily dressed. So he cannot go to the court in this type of dress. So these are the excuses he made. Though that's all for today, children. We'll stop here now. In the next period, we'll see the third part of this lesson. By that time, you solve the assignment and submit it on time and do the assignment and the notes which was given to you in the vacation. Thank you, Sai Ram.